What if I told you instead of using your own arm to clean up mess around the house, that your new robot vacuum could do it for you? Yeah, this vacuum has a robotic arm that comes out of the body, picks up loose items, and even automatically sorts it for you in a designated area or this handy little basket. I've never seen anything like this before, and it's actually real. You can get one of these right now. This is the Roborock Saros Z70, and I partnered with Roborock to show you what it's like using this vacuum on a daily basis. I actually saw this early in January and couldn't believe that it was actually coming to market, but the launch price of $2,599 made this unobtainable for a lot of homes. But you won't believe the anniversary sale price. You have to see it to believe it. The discount is massive. I will leave a link down below for you, and if you've been eyeing this vacuum for your home, I would not miss out on this chance to own it. I'm gonna jump right into the Roborock unboxing experience. This is great because you get everything that you need in the box to get started, and all you really need to do is put the spinning mops on just like this, and you're pretty much ready to go. No assembly or anything like that. The setup process is so easy. Just download the Roborock app or just add this vacuum if you already own a Roborock vacuum. Just hit this button right here and it will quick map your entire home in just minutes. You'll be surprised how accurate it gets with the initial mapping, but the map gets more detailed as you do more cleans. I know many of you might have already seen the black model, and that is a classic look, but I went for the silver model because I think it looks unique. The base also looks a little bit different with almost like a frosted glass look, and I really like it. On top of the mechanical arm, which we will get to in just a minute, this vacuum has pretty much every feature that you could ever want. This is the multifunctional base 4.0, and the front of the base comes right off, and that's where the dust bag is located. And right beside that is where the solution container is, so you don't have to worry about it. It automatically adds cleaning solution to the mop, which is handy. The top has a clean and dirty water container. They are sizable, so I usually empty it and refill it about once a week. The automatic mop cleaning is done with hot 80 degrees Celsius water, so that is great for bacteria removal. And if you look, the tray is also self-cleaning, which is nice, but all of these components are removable, so you can clean them manually too, which I appreciate. It's much easier this way. If you didn't know about the mechanical arm on the Saros Z70 and you just looked at this vacuum, you wouldn't even know it's there, and I really love that about the design. All of the components are under this mirrored door, which is completely flush inside of the body, so kudos to Roborock on the design. This is especially important because this entire thing is less than 8 centimeters in height, so it can fit in really tight places, so you don't have to worry about it not cleaning below low profile furniture. There are so many sensors on this thing to give it the best navigation power possible. There's a huge cluster of sensors and cameras on the front, including a dual transmitter 3D time of flight, which I believe is an industry first, but there's also an infrared camera as a receiver on the back. And check this out, at the top of the vacuum, you also get a set of sensors and cameras for vertical sensing as well. So with all of these sensors combined, you get a top-notch experience, and out of all the Roborock vacuums that I've used, I think this has the best obstacle avoidance that I've seen so far. The way it gets super close to the furniture on my chairs underneath my dining table, this is not easy, and it's super tight all around, and the Saros Z70 handles it with ease, so that is impressive. The Starsight Autonomous System 2.0 uses vertical structured light as well, so it can work around irregular furniture and cords left on the ground, which is always hard for robot vacuums. And the cameras using AI can recognize many of the common objects that it comes across, including pets, shoes, socks, stuffed animals, and yes, also pet waste. Yeah, I know this is fake poop, but the vacuum recognizes it no problem and it avoids it. So the sensor stack on this vacuum is the best that I've seen from Roborock. Before we get to the most polarizing thing about this vacuum, yes, the mechanical arm, and don't worry, I'm going to tell you everything that it can and it cannot do, but let's get to the most important thing. How does this vacuum do for everyday cleans? And I'm betting that that's what you want to know about the most, so let's start with the vacuum. The Saros Z70 has one of the most powerful vacuums with 22,000 pascals of suction power, and I was impressed. I have a low pile wool rug, and this is the best performing vacuum that I've used to date on this so far. No problems picking up large messes or even small ones, and you can check out what kind of job it did on the cereal. No problem on the first try. This vacuum also has the most unique brush that I've ever seen. This is called a free flow main brush, and you can see the texture and construction of it. It's very different from the traditional brush, and this is so hair and objects don't get tangled, especially on the corners of the brush. Here is an example of what it can do with hair. So if you have pets or if you're a girl dad like I am, you'll find hair everywhere. And you can see that the Saros Z70 handles it without an issue, even on carpet or a rug like this. There's even a setting on the app where you can lower the side brush to clean low to medium pile carpet. And I think that makes a huge difference. And don't worry about the corners of the room because the FlexiArm side brush extends and grabs the dust and dirt in the corners. So the vacuum side of it is top notch. Also, if you have larger thresholds in your house, you don't have to worry about it because the Adaptalift chassis has up to 3 centimeters of clearance. So bar stools or chairs like this or even room thresholds are no issue at all, which I think makes the experience that much better. Next is the mop, and on everyday cleans it does a great job of keeping the hard surface flooring maintained. If you've owned a Roborock vacuum in the last couple of years or so, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Plenty of downward pressure to get a great scrub on the floor, and it does a good job picking up spills as well. So the mop side is also legit on the Saros Z70. I love the fact that the mops extend to the side to clean as close to the baseboards and edges as possible. So I have a lot of hard surface flooring downstairs, and running this every day helps keep my floors maintained. When it returns back to the dock, remember the mops are washed with hot water and are heat dried so bacteria does not grow. So as a robot vacuum, this is flagship level, and I think the icing on the cake is that if you don't want to mess with any of these settings in the app, you can just use AI Smart Plan. This mode will learn your house and adjust accordingly to give you the best clean possible every time you run it. Even though you have so many options, it is so simple to use it. But if you want that customization on the Roborock app, it has it all. Let's say that if you want to vacuum first, then mop, you can set it to that, and the mop pads will detach from the vacuum. And when it's time to mop, it will come back and reattach them. You can set routines if you want, which is super useful. So let's say that you wanted to clean the kitchen after meals. You can only clean specific zones if you want, especially if your kids make a mess in the living room. You can set the order of the rooms your vacuum cleans for efficiency, control suction power, mop water flow, cleaning count, and my favorite setting to clean along the floor direction. If you have tile floors, you'll appreciate this. So the app has much or as little customization as you want. You have the choice, which I really like. So let's get to the best part, the mechanical arm and how it works. There are a few ways that you can activate this. First, you can control the vacuum manually because you have a secure way to access the camera through the app. So you can use this for home security reasons too, but you can use this to manually pick up items on the floor. This can be very fun, almost like a claw machine game, so give this a try. But the way that you would use this on a daily basis is by setting automatic sorting in the mechanical arm settings, and this will let the vacuum do its thing as usual, and when it recognizes something like the sock, it will stop and the mechanical arm will pop out of the body. And let me warn you, when you see this for the first time, it will blow your mind and you won't believe that this is actually in your house, and it will pick that thing up and bring it back to the designated area that you set on the map, or there is an included basket that the vacuum will go back to and drop the objects like this sock into, which is so cool. The things it can auto pick up are socks, balls of paper, light shoes like slippers, and the amount of objects will grow as software updates come out. There are some limitations though. The mechanism is a little bit slow, but that was expected for me since this has to pop out from the body. It also depends on the shape of the object that it tries to pick up. It almost got this Labubu off the ground, but it's not there at this point with the vinyl face products, but it was more successful with the softer products like the shrimp tempura earbuds case, so that was cool to see. I think as you start using it, you'll see what works and what doesn't work. Here's another scenario. If the shoes are transparent or it might just be too heavy, the limitation is about 300 grams. It won't be able to pick them up. And if the item is just too small, it might not be able to pick it up, but this thing is still impressive to see a robot vacuum do this. I am looking forward to this improving over time. They've already pushed multiple software updates that have made this mechanical arm more useful and more powerful. So for a first generation product, this is really impressive. So that is the Saros Z70, a flagship vacuum that has all the bells and whistles and more. And it fully charges in 2.5 hours, so if you have to clean the house multiple times a day, it's not an issue. The clean itself is phenomenal, but having that mechanical arm available to help organize a little at night really makes a difference. And this gives us a glimpse into where robot vacuums are going in the future. Remember when mops first came out, they were separate from the vacuums, and now all of them are integrated. And this is how I see the mechanical arm going for the future. Generations later, this will be something that will evolve into something incredibly useful, and the tech will just get get better and better until it becomes the norm. I'm an optimist, so the future looks bright, and with a huge discount right now, you can have a piece of that future in your house right now. So make sure you check the link below and don't miss out on this. If you are a tech and smart home fan and want the cutting edge, look no further. This is definitely it. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, ask away in the comment section below. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe for a lot more videos like this. And I will see you in the next one.